Hi, I'm Kelly from WILDCOAST. Today I will be demonstrating the effects of anthropogenic carbon dioxide on marine organisms through a fun and simple lab that can be done in the classroom. The activity is suitable for all grades. You can just adjust how detailed you'd like to get with the chemistry. When we say anthropogenic carbon dioxide, we are talking about the carbon released into the atmosphere through human activity. We are actually supposed to have carbon dioxide in our atmosphere, but the problem is we're releasing too much of it by burning fossil fuels and other industrial activities. Because oceans are amazing and considered a natural carbon sink, our oceans absorb about 35% of anthropogenic CO2. Now here's the chemistry part. When all of that extra CO2 mixes with the water in the ocean, they react to make carbonic acid. This is where the term ocean acidification comes from. It is important to note that the ocean is not actually acidic, at least not yet. Normal ocean water is expected to be slightly basic on the pH scale, but this process of ocean acidification is driving the pH of the ocean more toward neutral, and in the worst case scenario, could eventually turn the ocean acidic. Once carbonic acid is formed through the reaction of CO2 and water, the carbonic acid reacts with another compound called carbonate, which is found in ocean water. Carbonate, or more specifically calcium carbonate, is what's used to make the shells of many marine organisms, such as snails. So when the carbonic acid steals the carbonate, it's essentially stealing the shells from the marine organisms. No carbonate, no shells, which means no protection for marine organisms. Now we're going to demonstrate the action of carbonate reacting with or being stolen by carbonic acid. First, get a cup that students can see through and fill each cup with vinegar. Vinegar is an acid, so the vinegar will represent an acidic ocean. Second, get a piece of chalk about this big. Chalk is made out of calcium carbonate, so the chalk will represent the shells of the marine organisms. Ask your students to tell you what they think will happen to the piece of chalk if they drop it in the vinegar. Now tell the students to drop their chalk in the vinegar and watch what happens. After a few seconds, students should be able to watch the chalk dissolve in the vinegar right before their eyes. This represents the carbonate being stolen by the carbonic acid. Ask students what would happen to snails if their shells dissolved. WILDCOAST is working with blue carbon ecosystems, or those coastal and marine ecosystems that absorb atmospheric carbon to help mitigate the effects of climate change. By protecting and restoring blue carbon ecosystems, such as mangroves in Mexico and salt marshes and seagrass in California, we are able to slow down the process of ocean acidification and help all those creatures that rely on their shells for protection. There is also a lot you can do to help, even right from your home. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. If you are interested in more resources you can use in the classroom, log on to wildcoast.org and click on the Resources tab at the top of the page.